This is the Tom Barnard Podcast. Listen live weekday mornings, 8 to 9:30, or anytime you like as a podcast on the Tom Barnard app at tombarnardshow.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What's the latest?
Oh, things are cruising this morning. Tevin had a whirlwind of a day, I hear. Had to drop somebody off at the airport.
Yeah, it's never fun going to the airport first thing in the morning, but we survived. The Timberwolves are all over the news and I'm very curious to see what Judd has to say, because Karl-Anthony Towns scored, I believe, 62 points, was one shy of the franchise record, and they're playing one of the worst teams in the NBA. Should have easily won. But the whole fourth quarter, essentially, the entire team just tried to get him to 63 rather than actually play the game. So they ended up losing to one of the worst teams.
Oh, Jesus.
The coach said it was
Minnesota.
The whole entire NBA.
Is it too much of an overstatement? Is this too much of a hot reaction to say that they're too immature to do anything in the playoffs? Unless this is like a pinnacle turning point for them.
Would you guys turn this into a sports show here?
I'll save it for Judd. Sorry, I'll save it for Judd.
Why don't we wait till Judd comes on and then talk about sports, Tevin? Yep. That's all we need is a 25-minute sports segment. That'll be just magnificent.
What's going on in the news?
I'm not going to tell. I'm not talking to you two. Forget it. You're out of the mix. No quit. Now we were talking earlier in front of the whole situation that yet another principal or director or whatever they are has been asked to leave her job. I suppose she's been fired. Tara Fitzgerald.
It's a principal, right?
The principal, yes. The principal of Anderson United Middle School in Minneapolis. I have no idea what that is.
It's by the Children's Hospital just off of Lake Street, kind of Lake Street, Chicago-ish area.
Oh, there. Okay. By the old Sears building?
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, excellent. Anyway, the principal of Anderson United Middle School in Minneapolis is out after a group of parents interrupted a recent board meeting to call for a leadership change at the school. Apparently, they had signs and they were chanting and yelling, and they were very, very upset because. By the way, Tara Fitzgerald, the one that they forced out, who served as Anderson's principal since 2021, will be, quote, pursuing another opportunity with MPS. Minneapolis Public Schools. So she has an opportunity already. Is that what she's implying?
Either I would assume she's just saying she's going to be looking for a new job. Like she's not going to give up on her career of education.
So it's pursuing an opportunity that's not there yet.
Yeah, like just looking for a new job, I would assume is what she's saying.
That sounds like the professional, drafted response of instead of I'm looking for a new gig. It's I'm pursuing a new opportunity and.
So it's like when you get fired from a radio station and the asshole management says that you retired. I mean, kind of like that.
What do you mean? You were pursuing new opportunities?
I was pursuing new opportunities. That's exactly right. I just love how people lie to benefit themselves the most. No matter what it is, they will benefit themselves the most by lying about what really happened. I mean, let's be honest. You fired me. I got over it. I wish you'd get over it. Shut up and have another drink. Right?
Yeah, right.
Finish the glass.
Finish the glass, man. You guys been seeing anything on TV that's any good?
I started watching the show Good Girls on Netflix.
Is that with that's the Rita? I want to say she used to be on Parks and Rec.
Yeah, and I started watching because Manny Montana is in it, who's like this great actor from that I liked in another show. Okay. But anyway, so that's pretty good. It's kind of like Weeds, where it's a group of suburban moms that now are money launderers. But other than that, not really anything too good. I'm waiting for the next seasons of the shows I regularly watch come out.
Okay. There you have it. Apparently, Harlan Coben's wife, I think her name is Charlotte, or his wife or his daughter or somebody, wrote a movie, and they shot the movie in England, and I sat very politely for 45 minutes watching with Catherine, even though I couldn't understand one damn word they were saying. Because they all talk like this, and they never open their mouths, and they talk like this. Like, what the hell are you saying? Open your mouth, for Christ's sake. Right?
Yeah, I wonder if people from England have the same reaction as we do to the show Fargo when they hear English accents.
Oh, maybe.
Well, the thing that's weird about England is it's a much smaller country than say the United States. but they have so many different accents packed in there. You have Scouse, which is like the Liverpool area, and then like London is a different aspect. And it's crazy how just you can drive like 30 minutes north and people sound completely different.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, well, again, when I moved from Minneapolis to Grand Forks, North Dakota, I could not understand them. That's just, I had never heard anybody talk like that before. Yeah, no. Like, what language is that? Yeah, no. What? Whatever. We have to take a break because and we will talk about sports during the sports segment. What a great idea, don't you think?
I'll put that on our run sheet for tomorrow so we know better time.
Yeah, it won't happen again.
Good. How about just shut up and let me run the show? How about that action, you pills?
I'll just push some
He puts his hands up. I surrender, man. We will be right back, and we will talk about what happened. Is it a good idea to help your teammate out and lose the game? We'll talk about it. You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you, Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor. Call Josh now for a no-obligation 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you get the different point of view for your investments, which is a good thing. Josh knows what the hell he's doing. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608. You'll be glad you did. Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security and investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. I'm Tom Barnard, and I am a paid endorser.
Is that text you're sending so important that you missed your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Yeah, baby. Here's the deal. Mike Lindell, you know Mike Lindell, friend of mine. And My Pillow employees want to thank my listeners for all your continued support is what we're talking about all the time on here because you guys are really, really good. To thank you, they're having an overstock clearance and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use promo code TOM, and you get free shipping on your entire order. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets for only $29.98, and take advantage of the free shipping on larger items such as mattresses and mattress toppers. 100% made in the USA, on sale for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale. From the brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb, dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com or call 800-516-5146. Use promo code TOM, and you can get free shipping on your entire order. What do you think of that action? So, call 800-516-5146 or go to mypillow.com and use promo code TOM.
This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
It certainly is, ladies and gentlemen. You know what happened yesterday? I cut a couple of spots. Andy, and I cut a few spots every week, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I see a text from Amy to Andy. Andy, will you cut some of the breaths out? Yeah, you wouldn't want it to sound human. Cut some of the breaths out. How about if I cut your breath out for about 5 minutes and see how that works, right? What? I'm just asking a question. That's all I'm saying. Honest to God. Well, that's why, I'll be honest with you, that comment right there is why I even when I was at the Q, I didn't have a boss. I cut my deal outside of the management deal. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine being my boss? It would be the worst job on earth. Ugh. I'd hate being my own boss. What's that?
I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Well, there's no question about it. Honest God, I have two bosses in my life, my mother and my wife. And I can readily and fully admit she is my boss because, she might be a little better looking and a nicer person than me. That's all I'm saying. Right?
Right.
That's fair, isn't it? All right. Now, Tevin's all fired up about this Timberwolves story, which I understand why he would be fired up because I know you want to help your teammate. You don't want to lose the game. What the hell is that? Tevin, what's the deal?
Yeah, Judd, what's your opinion on the whole Timberwolves, Karl-Anthony Towns? They're just hunting for his record rather than beating the woeful Hornets.
That was one of the most atrocious things I've seen last night because they were up by 13 and they literally stopped doing what they needed to do to win to try to get him more points. And he got 62, but they lost to a team that came into the game with 9 wins. And Chris Finch, the coach post game, was not surprisingly very pissed off, and he should have been. I mean, that was just, it's incredible that a team that has shown, has made so many strides and has been mature all year, played like that. And the other thing too is, the one guy that didn't play last night because of a hamstring problem was Mike Conley. And it appears that when Mike Conley does not play, they revert to being an immature, dumb at times basketball team. And when Conley plays, because he knows what he's doing and he's a point guard, he's able to sort of save them from themselves. But if you're a Timberwolves fan and you're not ticked off by that, because it was just such an atrocious, it's one thing if they weren't trying to get Towns points, right? Or it's one thing that if they lose to a good team like they did to OKC on Saturday. But this was a 9-win Charlotte team, and this win or this loss by them was a reminder of a lot of bad things from last season.
Yeah, is it something that you think is potentially to linger into the season that we have to be worried about when the postseason rolls along, or is this kind of a blip? They should hopefully get it after Finch, cusses them out in practice and whatnot.
I think they're in big trouble if Mike Conley's out for an extended period of time, which is, at his age and a guy who's been hurt before, I think that's a possibility at some point. Mike Conley has played a ton, which is actually shocking considering his age. But I really think that he is the straw that stirs the drink because without him, they revert back to this, style of basketball. And it wasn't just Towns. It wasn't just trying to get Towns the ball. It's just a complete lack of any basketball common sense, movement of the ball, everything that you're supposed to do. They basically stopped doing. And you just got, Ant had a weird game. He actually statistically was okay, but he wouldn't shoot for like 2+ quarters. And then when he started to shoot, he wouldn't stop. It was just so disjointed. So very disappointing game last night from the Wolves. And I don't blame Chris Finch for being pissed off. I was pissed off and I watched it at home.
So I have a question for you. Who on the court, obviously wasn't the coach, who on the court made the decision to tell his teammates to do what he wanted them to do? Who would have done that?
Well, Ant was part of the problem because until he started to shoot finally at some point in the third quarter, he was looking to pass to Cat every opportunity. Now Finch said he told him at halftime, clean this crap up. Like we'll lose if we don't. And then they got up by 13 in the third quarter, and it was as if they basically said, "Oh, screw that, we'll be fine." But it was just an overall. I think this is where you need a veteran who like Conley does, controls the basketball time. And so I don't think it was like one thing of throw Cat the ball. I think it became this entire, oh my God, he's got these points, he's the hot hand. But then what inevitably happens, as Tevin can tell you, is inevitably a team like Charlotte will just start double and triple teaming Cat. So he's literally taking just terrible shots. It's just terrible shots. But at the best, this should be a learning lesson that if you don't grow up and play basketball or sports the right way, you will get bounced in the playoffs because the stupidity of how they played the game, I think, was the most overwhelming thing. I don't blame one player. I blame almost the entire team for this crap.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Now, he did not get the record, correct?
He got the franchise record. But Joel Embiid of Philadelphia, get this, scored 70 last night, and all of this, and all of this came on the 18th anniversary of Kobe Bryant's 81-point game.
God,
yeah, Embiid had 70.
There you go, 70 points.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Okay. So the Timberwolves gained nothing about changing the way they played the game.
Last night they took a step back that they hopefully will learn from. But yeah, there was 60. I would think that they would have preferred Cat score 52 and they win,
right?
As opposed to him scoring 62 and they lose again to a team that came into the game with 9 wins.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. I know that like if people, I'm kind of like my name's on the docket, so it's kind of like I'm in charge. Like so when your players like open with sports when you do sports 7 minutes later anyway. Wouldn't that upset you?
No, because Tevin's so pissed off he can't see straight this morning, and I don't blame him.
Tough titty. We had 6 minutes to wait. We got it.
6.
Oh, look at that. He's got a crabby look on his face. You big baby.
I'm just hanging out.
I'm just hanging out.
Who isn't?
I think we are all just hanging out. There's no question about it. So what else going on in sports? Anything good?
That's the most, how can I put this nicely? That's the most noteworthy thing in sports. That's probably the talker because of this. The Wolves right now are the only really exciting thing in town. The hockey team, the Wild is so up and down. The Twins haven't done squat. Twins Fest is this weekend, and I'm not quite sure what they're going to excite us with, but they haven't done a darn thing.
On the Twins, are we expecting a big announcement today regarding Mr. Mauer?
Oh, that's right. Thank you very much. The Hall of Fame, yeah. The Hall of Fame, it's going to be announced at 5 o'clock today, and it is looking like Joe will make the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry, Age. I became so frustrated by the lack of movement that I completely forgot about a feel-good story. There's a lot of fans here, it feels like, who are like, Joe Mauer shouldn't get in the Hall of Fame, especially on the first ballot. He's a Hall of Fame catcher. He won 3 batting titles.
Yeah. Is it tainted just because of the contract that he was given kind of at the end of his career?
But he got that contract in 2010. And if the Twins, here's what I've never gotten about that. Fans got pissed off about the contract, but the reality is, if the Twins had let him walk, like if he had gone to Boston, right? Fans would have torched the poll ads.
Yeah.
I've never understood the Mauer thing. For a town that ordinarily I think is pretty doggone easy on players and executives, I've never understood this vitriol towards a kid from St. Paul.
Yeah.
Who, if nothing else, is sort of a milquetoast type of guy, but my God, it was as if he robbed the Twins of the money, like he walked in there with a gun and robbed them. You would have thought this was the most egregious thing ever.
What's their argument that he shouldn't get in? I don't understand why are they arguing the point.
I think there's a segment of the fan base that thought, one, he was going to hit for more power, which he just did not. Like he was, and also the injuries frustrated fans, and then the Twins screwed him in. Was that 2012 or 13 or so, when they came up with that term, bilateral leg weakness?
Absolutely.
And fans took that out on Joe. Joe didn't come up with that term. The Twins did. That was the Twins' fault. But and he moved to first base and had concussion problems, and he was not the same player. But my whole thing has been, you're correct. But if he had retired, if the concussions had forced him out, right, he would have been forced out from catching with 3 batting titles. I don't think any other American League catcher in the history of the American League has a batting title. And there's one. There was one in the 1930s in the National League. He's a Hall of Fame catcher.
Yeah, I don't understand the argument here. I don't know Joe Mauer. I've never met him. Met his brothers. Not that we're friends or anything. I've said hello to him. That's about it. I don't know Joe Mauer, but you look at the stats. The guy's a Hall of Famer. Where's the argument here?
it's very bizarre. I don't think I've ever seen a player who, as far as personality goes, like didn't have two things to say, be so polarizing. Like Randy Moss.
Yeah.
Randy Moss was polarizing, but he was polarizing. So the weird thing with Joe is, for the most part, he put up unbelievable stats while catching. He suffered concussion problems, which we have seen derail many a career. Morneau is a perfect example there. And we somehow got all ticked off at Joe. It's a very weird thing.
I couldn't agree more. Like I said, he's not a big talker. He was not, he's not like, I'm not going to talk to you. He didn't talk to anybody, right?
He's just a quiet, and he didn't
quiet
do
guy.
it. Yeah, I was going to say, and he didn't do it out of protest.
No.
He was just he just didn't have a lot to say, which is okay, but that certainly doesn't make a guy, none of the things I brought up make you worthy of being ignored as a Hall of Famer because you didn't like the fact that he got hurt. Well, unfortunately he did. And the voters who do this now, because it's changed clearly through years of attrition, Tom, the first year ballot is not nearly as sacred. So it used to be like Mays and Aaron, and there it is, like, you can't go in on the first ballot or whatever, or no, their whole thing was, we're not going to make you unanimous because there were certain people that would not vote for you on your first year of eligibility. Well, a lot of things have changed.
I was just sent an email that shows the lack of compassion from Tom Barnard Show listeners. You ready?
Oh, no.
Yeah, let's hear it.
A couple of minutes, could you ask Chris Egert if he's got singular leg weakness? That's real nice.
Oh, wow.
Jesus. That's really sweet. Thanks for sending that in, by the way.
I bet he laughs.
I don't know if I'm going to ask him.
I bet he laughs if you do ask him. I'm putting money on he laughs.
I think the world of Chris Egert. I just love that guy.
Oh, he's the greatest guy.
He used to come in and do the family podcast, and he literally would take his leg off and lean it in the corner. It was like, what are you doing? No, but yeah, it's a nice email to send through, don't you think? Taking a shot at a person on the show.
Wow.
But what the hell? It's just, it all works out in the end. So you don't see the Vikings doing anything. The Twins aren't doing anything. The Wild's not doing anything. The Timberwolves are throwing a game away when they shouldn't be throwing a game away. What's going right? Anything going right in the state?
Oh boy, sports wise, yes. You know what? I've got one. In 1991, the Twins won the World Series championship. Tom.
Yes, they did.
That's what's going right in 1991. Let's just go back a couple of years and we'll find it.
No question about it. And we only got about a minute here, but and some people get pissed off. I'm not talking about the average citizen in Minnesota. I love Minnesotans; they're wonderful people. But the people in charge in Minnesota, the fact that Joe Mauer didn't need them to become a most valuable player and make it in the Hall of Fame, they don't like that. Minnesota leadership is very touchy. Unless we helped you, it doesn't count. I mean, they have to get credit for it or they get very pissed off. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, but what's weird is he played here. Like I would have seen it being a problem if in 2010 or so he had left for, like, let's say Boston, right?
Yeah, yep.
And then has success there. That would have pissed us off to no end. We wouldn't have handled that well. But yeah, I've just never seen such a quiet guy become such a lightning rod.
I couldn't agree more, but that's the whole deal. He didn't need anyone else's help.
Yeah,
he knew what he could do, and he did it very, very well. I think the guy was a great player. I don't know him. Said hello to him once. No, I actually didn't. His brothers. He wasn't there. But one of the best hitters I've ever seen. He and Rod Carew are right up there, man.
No question. You know what this is? It's our lack of security, Tom Barnard.
That's what it is. That's exactly what it is. Like, could you let the guy just leave him alone? That's the way he does things. He's not pissing on you. It's the way he does things. Some people make it without help because it's the way they do things. Calm down. Right?
Amen. Exactly
what else?
Right.
Any good closing news in sports?
Oh, I think, you know what? I think the Mauer thing, ultimately, because I do think he is going to go in. I think that's it. I think that's the good news.
Yep. And what time will we know that, you guys? Do you know that?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Okay.
Yep, it's going to be announced.
Now, right there is a good example of teamwork. Judd did it with his voice, and AJ went. Wait, I gotta turn my hand so you can see it. There it is.
For the visual.
The quarterback.
Tweet.
Judd, do you know if they still do, like on MLB Network, they live stream the reactions of the guys getting the call of if they do or not? Because I remember Larry Walker in his last year of eligibility on the ballot he got the call that, hey, you're in the hall, and he's wearing a leather SpongeBob SquarePants jacket. And it was the most like fever dream moment I remember in recent baseball history. Just the most absurd thing.
I don't know on that. I'm sure that they ask the players, but my guess is that they have to allow it.
Okay.
And I'm guessing that they will have some type of stream of the Mowers, but I'm not positive there. But yes, Larry was a character. And you know what? A great Canadian too. No surprise. I'm sure that there were a few Molsons and Labatts involved in his election.
You know what's great about what you guys just did, and you didn't even know it? You were very nice to a friend of mine. I've known Larry Walker for years.
Really?
Oh, God, yeah. I've known Larry Walker for... He was still playing back in the days. A hell of a good guy. The guy's got a side to him that some people find abrasive. He's a very big man, first of all. Do people know how big Larry Walker is?
Oh, he's built like a brick house.
He absolutely is. One of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet. But not only is he nice, but also tell your face, you know what? You're a pain in the ass. Leave me alone. He's like that, too. He's very honest.
So you know Larry Walker, but you've never met Mauer?
Never met Mauer, but I used to play golf.
This is like Bizarro Day, man.
I used to play golf with Larry Walker all the time. And
Really?
one time, we were out at Spring Hill one time, wonderful golf course. We're at Spring Hill one time, and Larry hit his tee shot and pushed it to the right out of bounds. And I went, God, that's one of the worst shots I've ever seen by a professional athlete. And, of course, God paid me back because I hit my ball the exact same place he hit his. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. No, Larry, I haven't seen Larry now in a couple of years because he and I used to get together on vacations and stuff like that. But now he vacations. I don't know where the hell he goes some damn place. Somewhere in Central America or something. He's an interesting cat. From Canada to the United States to, I don't know if it's, what's that joint called out there in the California Peninsula? Oh, the town there. What the hell's that called again? I know, it doesn't matter. But in any case, yeah, Larry's a good guy. I'm glad you brought him up because he deserves it, and he should have been in the Hall of Famer. And he also laughed in my face when I pushed the ball exactly where he pushed it. So I'd like to say thank you for joining us today, Judd. And now I have that miserable feeling again about making fun of someone and then God paying me back.
Well, that's what happens sometimes.
It
happens to us all, man.
You know what I should do is drag Larry in and maybe do the show one day. Maybe I'll do
hell yeah, I'd love to talk to Larry Walker.
Maybe I'll give him a buzz today and see what the hell he's up to. I don't even know where he is now. Like I said, I haven't seen him in a couple of years now, but I can track him down. Thank you, Judd.
Talk to you all tomorrow.
We certainly look forward to it. Judd Zulgad, SKOR North, ladies and gentlemen. Take a break. Be right back in a couple of minutes. Chris Egert will join us at that point. Every new year is a chance for a fresh start, and the most profitable start you can make in 2024 is to take advantage of the business opportunities in Sioux Falls. Make 2024 your year to discover the benefits of Sioux Falls. We're hearing from Minnesota companies considering expanding or relocating to the Sioux Falls area. As I said before, Catherine and I are going to go down to Sioux Falls this summer and look to buy a cabin maybe. We'd kind of like to do that. We love that area anyway. A lot of lakes that people don't know about. Minnesota business people are excited about our short commutes, safe streets, quality of life excellence. We've got the details at SiouxFallsDevelopment.com. In Sioux Falls, you'll discover a friendly pro-business attitude, along with a productive, growing workforce, no personal or corporate state income tax, low workers' comp rates, and a lot less red tape. We've got great people, affordable buildings, and sites ready and waiting for your expansion plans. It says easy in a decision. It really is. It's an easy decision once you look at the advantages of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 2024 is the time to make your move to Sioux Falls. Visit SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
Hello, I'm Brad Huckle, President and Chief Lending Officer at North American Banking Company.
And I'm Michael Bilski, CEO at North American Banking Company.
As a locally owned and operated community bank, we work with many multi-generational businesses.
Take Personal Care Dentistry of Roseville, for example. Dr. Walter Hunt, also known as Painless to me, has been a longtime customer of the bank since we opened the bank in 1998.
When his son Kyle was ready to join the practice, they wanted to expand quickly.
With their additional space and equipment, they now are able to see more patients each day while providing the same level of care and service.
Okay, guys, I'll take it from here. If you run a family business or any kind of business for that matter, you should be banking with Brad and Mike over at North American Banking Company. Every time I deal with them or their team, I know I'm working with experienced professional bankers. So why not bank with my banker? North American Banking Company, a better banking experience, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Tom here, and I want to discuss a partnership that has been wonderful in my life, Zero Res Carpet Care. Very good friends of mine. Nothing is better to someone with a family than having a completely clean home. Your carpet is the biggest filter in your house. If you want to talk about pet dander or foot traffic, dirt from the outside, they all eventually reside in your carpet. So, Zero Res Carpet Care. Listen, around the holidays, you need to contact ZeroResMinnesota.com or call 952-ZEROREZ. That's 952-0RES. They clean your home with their electrolyzed pH-elevated water that doesn't use chemicals or soaps that smell like a janitor's closet like other cleaning services. How about a Tom Barnard deal? Well, here it is. Get 3 rooms, zero resified, starting at $129, and don't forget your air ducts. Mention me, and they'll discount your air vents by $75 too. This is for the entire month, so call them right now, 952-0RES, backward or forward, spells the same, or book online, ZeroResMinnesota.com. If it's available, ask for them to come to your place in the Tom Barnard named service truck. What an honor that was, by the way. Just mention me by name and get the special deal to get your home clean and your heart happy. Zero Res Carpet.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are listening, ladies and gentlemen. Tevin's here, AJ's here, Tom's here, and Chris Egert, Mr. News, is with us.
What up? I missed something earlier. I just happened to fire up the computer and I heard something you guys are talking about with Judd, and I didn't catch what that was about.
Well, I'm glad you caught the end of it. We're just talking about what a horseshit attitude you have on the show, and there.
Funny, I get that everywhere, not just on this show.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly it. No, we're just talking about the Twins made up the term bilateral leg weakness. That Joe Mauer did not make that up. A doctor didn't come up with. Apparently, the Twins doctors or organization came up with the term bilateral leg weakness. And so then a guy sent me an email asking about what your title would be, having the one GAM.
Bilateral leg weakness. That sounds like the same thing that Joe Mauer had. Yeah.
Exactly.
Joe and I are often mentioned in the same breath as two great athletes.
Yeah. Well, you're a lot better looking than him, but other than that, right?
Chris just has a few less votes for the Hall of Fame.
A couple less votes, a couple
close.
less million in the bank.
But together, you guys have 3 batting titles. So
that is true.
That's right. It's a very good
that
point.
was the term that they were using when everyone was all hot and bothered because he was out a lot, right? Like he wasn't playing a lot. And so that was one of the terms that they were throwing around at the time. Was that the context on that, Tom?
Yeah, I think pretty much what the situation. Yeah. They just made it a bilateral leg weakness, which means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. Bilateral means something, and leg weakness means something, but not together. I don't know who the hell came up with whatever, but look, what we're trying to do is, Tevin and AJ and I were looking through a list of the teams in town and trying to figure out which one could lose more games. Because pretty much every team in this town sucks right now.
Well, the Timberwolves are so promising on one day, and then they're so not promising the next day. I mean, anytime somebody scores 62 points, that's never really generally a great thing because that means the scoring's not being divvied up all around. And I'm sure Judd talked about it, but that was,
Exactly. Well, I did that once when I was working at the Q. I said, I've got to shoot a 92. I'd like to shoot better, but if I shoot a 92 and honor my morning show, I'd be very happy. So I did that many, many times.
Look at you.
2 shots over bogey, but, that's not really very good.
I'd die for a 92. I don't think I might be able to get that on 3 holes.
Yeah, really? I like that 31 stroke. What'd you have there? A 31.
That's about where my golf was at.
I haven't played golf in 6 years now, so when I go back, it's going to be real beautiful. It's going to be gorgeous.
You never know. You might just pick it back up and be like, boom.
Well, it's never. Well, that's true. That is
Sometimes people do golf better after taking a break because they forget the things that they were doing that were, like the bad habits you pick up, and you sort of some body movement and hip swing or whatever that it might be, and then you pick it back up again. You're like, oh, that's gone now. But
I played golf with a woman one time. This is many, many years, probably 15 years ago. And she was wearing a skirt, and she only had one leg, and she had the artificial limb. That woman could play golf like there's no bit. And it was her right leg, and she was right-handed, so she would have to rotate her weight back onto her artificial limb and then forward again. But she told me she was such a good golfer because it stabilized her swing. Does that make sense? Oh, here we go. Right there on the show, live, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I guess I can see that.
See, look at that.
I can see that because your leg with the prosthetic on it kind of just has to be planted there. Like that thing's not going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, that does make some sense. I would guess it maybe give her a little more consistency.
That's exactly what she said. She became consistent. That gave her a lot of confidence, and she became a very, very good golfer.
More people should get their legs chopped off.
AJ, could you do it for tomorrow's show? Have somebody come in and cut your leg off?
It has so many advantages. There's another one. Oh my God.
I have been looking to lose about 15, 20 pounds. So
well, the thing is with that, AJ, the prosthetic weighs about the
Love
same.
it.
So technically when you weigh yourself, it's a wash.
So there's no upside.
No,
the upside is you become really good at golf.
Yeah.
Chris, I had a friend I grew up with. Her brother was an amputee and didn't have a leg. And the first time I ever met him, he did this thing where, just sitting around and, hey, how's it going, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, we're doing whatever, so nonchalantly. And then just out of nowhere, seemed like a cool, calm, collected guy, snapped, just, God, so mad at myself. Grabbed a screwdriver because we were in the garage, kicked his leg up on like the wood shop table and just stabbed his prosthetic. And my buddy's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, I just don't have a leg. Relax, guys. Just I saw him do that maybe 20 times to 20 different people. Just he was the best gag of all time.
Stab his leg.
That's pretty good. The best one I did was right after it happened. We went down to Gulf Shores, Alabama to visit my folks who winter down there. And we were on the beach and I had the kids, I got in the sand and then I had the kids like hide my leg behind one of the lawn chairs or something. And so then I like laid there halfway in the water. So the leg kind of looked like it was, I kind of hit it in the sand and then I lifted it up and I'm like, oh my God.
They have alligators here.
What happened to my leg? That was,
no blood or anything, though. That's the great part.
I know, but it was remotely entertaining for us at the moment.
I would like it. I would have enjoyed that. There's no question.
What wasn't
about
entertaining is like the kids had to like pick me up and roll me into the water because I couldn't take my prosthetic into there. So I was like this like one-legged whale or seal that was getting rolled into the water, but whatever.
You know what's so great about amputees, and I'm very serious about this. I'm not just throwing it out there. There was a friend of mine's uncle in North Minneapolis lost his right arm, right? So every time you pissed him off, he would do this. He'd go like that, right? He'd turn his shoulder that didn't have an arm to you. And I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm giving you the finger. I thought it was wonderful.
Phantom finger.
Chris, real quick, because I know you got to go soon. Do you have any information on the RPG that was found in Minneapolis?
I pulled that as a story.
What?
I pulled that as a story to tell you guys about today. Hennepin County Sheriff says they discovered a rocket-propelled grenade. I mean, it's like it looks like something you'd see that somebody picked up off the side of the road in, Gaza or something. No context. They said they also found several guns and narcotics, but they also said it was disabled, so it wasn't live.
Okay.
So maybe somebody just had it like as a prop or something that they just bought like to be cool. But I don't know. We had the story, but we had zero context about like where it came from, which I also thought it was kind of weird for them to even throw the story out there in the universe without giving any more information about what the backstory was.
Yeah, because you hear, oftentimes people that maybe were in the military, they bring back like the shell of a grenade that's not live and things like that. But yeah, just to have an RPG seemed a little extreme.
I'm wondering if that's
yes.
if that's not the case. Like somebody just had it as a prop or something to sit on the counter and sit on the bar and look cool. I don't know though. I'd like to find out because that was like biggest question I had this morning after the story. I'm like, well, what the hell did they show us this for if they're not going to tell us? Was the guy going to go throw it at a building or what was going to happen with it? But anyway.
It all works out in the end. I want to play golf with you this summer.
That'd be fun.
And I think you could, because it's your right leg that you lost, right?
Yeah, no, left leg. So that's
your left leg.
That would be the plant leg. So
are you? So you're left-handed?
No. So if you were.
Yes, we just wanted to see the demonstration. Yeah.
Here we go.
So you put all the weight on the left leg.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you'd hit like that. So.
Oh, so we got to play golf. The four of us can play golf this summer. What do you think?
I hope you guys are ready for a long day because I am freaking terrible. I play like once every 3 years for a charity thing, and that's about it. So
you're just getting your money's worth. You're playing more than the rest of us.
Yeah,
I'm pretty good at drinking beverages while we're golfing. That's
no, really? Are you sure?
I know it seems crazy.
It does seem crazy. There's no question about it, but. No, I would love to do that. The four of us will go play golf over at Golden Valley. It'll be wonderful.
That'd be fun.
All right, we'll get it on the docket because what the hell, the show's over by.
Hey, at this rate, the weather's going to be like springtime in about a week anyway, so we could probably just play in a couple weeks.
It's going to be in the mid-30s, isn't it?
I think I'm hearing like.
Yeah, almost 40.
Yeah, I think 40.
Really?
Even higher than that. Our guys aren't quite going there yet, but there's a meteorologist for the National Weather Service out in Chanhassen he always says things on Twitter that are a little edgy.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking. Yeah, I know what edgy weather takes. I thought he was talking about like 50, 60 degrees.
Damn.
What?
Yeah.
So now they have to cancel all those winter events that they rescheduled.
Like further out, like maybe after the first week of February in that range. But that was just him. That's not what the 5 Eyewitness News Weather Authority is.
Yes.
I want you to get in Barlow's face, get in his grill.
Here's the thing about Ken. He doesn't throw that kind of crap out there willy-nilly without like.
Or nilly-willy, either one.
Or nilly-willy or whatever. He usually, holds on to it for a little bit because the stuff changes a billion times by the time the date actually gets here. So
he's a good guy, Ken Barlow.
He's a good guy.
Always liked him. All right, Hunyuk, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Take it easy, Chris Egert, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Egert News, Channel 5's Chris Egert, brought to you by Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. Call Josh today for your free 48-minute evaluation at 952-925-5608. We'll take a break, be right back, continue things right after this. You know the song Kokomo? It's supposed to be off the Florida Keys, right? Hate to break your Beach Boys bubble, but that's a fictitious place they made up for the song. Fortunately for the rest of us, the Florida Keys island chain are as real as the taxes you have to pay in Minnesota if you're a resident. Now that's a reason to move south. In addition to Florida and all of Monroe County being beautiful, the Keys from Key Largo to Key West are even more beautiful. This is Tom Barnard, part-time Florida resident myself. And if you want a second house or a new retirement home or want to become a Floridian, may I suggest you contact Matt Carlson from One Key West Realty. Matt grew up in Litchfield. He's a super real estate agent when it comes to finding your tropical island space in the Keys. He lives there and here, and Matt knows what's best in Key West to buy for your second home in Florida. Matt teamed up with fellow Minnesotan from Sartell and Alexandria, Kristen Eklund, who's one of the top mortgage brokers in the country from Coast to Coast Mortgage. She'll get you the financing you need to buy a home in Florida or in Minnesota. Matt's part of the Lake Sotheby's International Realty Group here in Minnesota, and Kristen, his mortgage colleague, lives and works in the Keys, so they both know the Florida Keys' new and existing homes for sale and are Minnesotan through and through. Contact them by heading to onekeywest.com. That's onekeywest.com.
Is that text you're sending so important that you miss your turn? Is that text you're sending so important that you ran the red light? Is that text you're sending so important you didn't see the ball coming onto the road or the child that followed? Hi, I'm Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant. When you take your eyes off the road for even 4 seconds, your vehicle travels 100 yards. That's the entire length of a football field. If you absolutely have to text, you need to pull off the road somewhere safe and do it from there. Texting and driving is against the law and can cause serious injury or even death to you and others. Now that is important. We hope you're never injured in a collision, but if you are, please contact us.
Find Bradshaw and Bryant, personal injury attorneys at minnesotapersonalinjury.com.
Going farther with Mike Bryant on your side, seeking justice for the injured. Bradshaw and Bryant.
Hey, it's a new year. Why not treat yourself to a new gun from K&L Surplus and Ammo? I personally know Jim, the owner, and I'm not making that up. He's a great guy. He's been, first of all, I don't do commercials for people I don't like. So there you go. But Jim's a great guy. He's been in the firearms business for over 15 years and knows how to set you up with the perfect firearm for your needs. K&L offers one of the widest selection of firearms in the region, including Beretta shotguns, Antica rifles. High school trap teams are starting to form now, and K&L has a great selection of SKB shotguns. K&L has Tika and SKB both in right and left-hand models. K&L also has a broad range of ammunition, including both American and European calibers. If you have a collection of guns that you'd like to sell, call Jim at K&L so he can help you get the best price through his network. K&L Surplus and Ammo is on Lake Drive in Lino Lakes and open Tuesday through Saturday. You can also visit them online, www.klgunstore.com.
This is Bob Sansevier, and I want to tell you about Dave Bialki from Bialki Law. Dave represented my wife, Mary, when she had a significant workplace injury. She was very happy with the job Dave did. If you have a work-related injury and have Dave represent you, I'm betting you'll be happy too. Dave is a down-to-earth guy. He grew up in northern Minnesota, rides a Harley, and worked various jobs doing concrete, electrical, plumbing, roofing, and carpentry work. Dave works for people with work-related injuries. If you work construction, or anywhere for that matter, and you're hurt or even just hurting, you should talk to Dave. Let's face it, our bodies wear out. If your body is worn out from work, if your knees or back or shoulders hurt from things you do at work, do what Mary did. Call Dave and talk to him about it at Bialki Law to set up a free initial consultation. The number to call is 763-571-2410. That's 763-571-2410. Or visit bialkilaw.com. That's BIALKE law.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We're rocking out while you're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast by going, dude, what is that little guitar work?
Yeah, a little guitar riff. It makes me want to learn to play guitar, like start playing Guitar Hero again.
Oh my God, Guitar Hero. Tom, have you ever played Guitar Hero?
No, I never have.
Oh God,
I bet
you the kids would, the grandkids would love it.
Oh yeah, I feel like you would probably be annoyed because you were in a band and like could actually play instruments, and so I feel like you would be annoyed, but. Yeah, it was it was a cultural movement back in the day. Yeah.
I remember hearing a lot about it back in the day, as you said. It was very, very popular. Does it still have some popularity, or did it kind of fade?
Oh no, it had a good run, but it's kind of dead and gone now.
Yeah,
no, it is.
I feel like if they maybe like remade one, there'd be hype around it, but it's just like, you know, it's more like a Dave and Buster's type game now. If that makes sense.
Well, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Absolutely, it does. I just realized something today. I learned something today that I never knew before, that when I want to get rid of both of you and just sign off during the breaks and all that stuff, I can't do it because you'll know I've done it because my space on the board when we're on shifts, AJ and I shift positions. So he would know every time I just didn't want to hear him yapping and turned it off. Why is it? How's that fair? You should not be able to know that I did that. But no, I just I went and found the Anson Williams and Jeffrey Sitcove interview that's coming up in about 8 minutes, something like that. Yeah. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, so we've pretty much covered sports and how much they suck right now in Minnesota, which is getting really old. I got to be honest with you. I mean, the Timberwolves are good, but they shouldn't. I don't know. Get them the number, but win the game. You got to win the game first. But didn't you say, Tevin, that they were up by 13 in the third quarter?
Yeah, I believe they were up by like 13 in the third quarter, and then they kind of helped Cat actually get the record. I thought he was one shy, but he actually got the.
Oh, he did get it.
Record, yeah. So.
Oh,
but it was just an embarrassing look for the
Yep.
Wolves.
I agree. This is kind of interesting. You know, once in a while, the Complete Sheet, which is a news service that comes out, was that out of California? Anybody know?
I think so.
That
That would
sounds
make
right.
sense because it's entertainment.
Yeah, I would guess that it's out of Los Angeles. They always have these titles on there, and I look at it and I go, now here are a couple. Which would you rather hear about? Normal names that are going to be extinct, including Johnny and Amanda, and other names, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Tevin, I don't think you have to worry about it. I think you're okay. You're good.
I don't think not enough people are named Tevin for my name to officially go extinct. It's like me.
It could, though. It could go extinct. You just never know. And then the other headline I really like is 10 horrible hygiene habits that are way too common. Remember what Fred Sanford said?
Yeah. Was it wash your ass?
Yeah, wash your ass. Get about that bed and wash your ass, girl. You think that might be one of them? Is that what you're saying? Okay, do you want to do one, both? Which one do you want first if we do both of them?
Let's do the hygiene.
Yeah, I want to hear that one.
Okay,
Especially
I couldn't agree more with you guys. The hygiene one took the top spot. It's fun to occasionally remember how gross we all are. So here's another reminder. Someone asked people to name hygiene mistakes that are way too common. Now, do I go from the bottom up to one? So there's 8 to 1 or 1 to 8, or does it not matter?
I don't know if it matters, but let's go 8 to 1 just for fun.
Okay. Flushing with the toilet lid up. It sprays tiny droplets. Oh, so yeah, you put the lid down.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't do that, though.
No.
I would say, wouldn't you say 95% of people do not put the lid down when they're flushing the toilet?
Probably. And there was a big Mythbusters thing where they did an experiment.
Oh.
It just sprays waste everywhere.
That's not good news. Okay, so they have a point there. You should close the lid when you flush the toilet.
Correct.
And it might be a good idea to take that little scrub brush and clean her out once in a while, too, if you're having people over. Just a thought.
The blue cleaner, throw some of that in there.
Throw that in there. Number 7, not washing your sheets and pillowcases enough. The pillows themselves get gross, too. Well, isn't that a weekly thing? You wash your linens weekly, don't you?
Yeah, I would say that's probably a good amount weekly, depending on.
Yeah, that's probably the ideal one.
Yeah.
All right.
Change your pillows every once in a while. Yeah.
Okay, here's one that go ahead.
Oh no, I was just laughing.
Oh, I thought you said, well, I am guilty of the next one. I've never done it in my entire life. Number 6, never cleaning door handles. Do you clean your door handles?
You know what? I was actually thinking about this because
Really?
Our dog has adopted, so wasn't super house trained and has accidents in the house. But when we leave for the day, we shut the doors just so it's a confined space. We don't want them roaming around. So I've noticed that the bathroom door handle specifically, and I think it's just because that's where there's lotion and stuff. But I can tell it's not like the other one, so I think I might start wiping that one down.
Yeah. I'm gonna add that.
Okay.
Yeah, especially the bathroom door handle is probably the most notable one.
There you have it. Number 5, not scrubbing your ass crack. Well, why wouldn't you do that? I mean, if you're going to take a shower, wouldn't you hose out your butt?
Of all the places.
I know. I know. It's what? Why wouldn't you do that? That's bad stuff that passes through there. Number 4, being a shoes-on household. Oh, boy, there were some... When I was a kid, if you didn't take your shoes off, particularly at Italian houses, I learned that, and maybe it's just in my neighborhood, but the Italians did not want you wearing your shoes in their house, which makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Tracking stuff in and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't understand how people can live in their house without taking their shoes off. That's one of my favorite parts of the day is taking my shoes off.
Yeah.
Especially...
Yep.
Taking socks off after a long. Oh, those little imprint lines where at the top. Oh God, just take it all off.
What if it's funky?
Oh well, that's why you got to air them out. You got to let them.
You got to air them out, baby. This one I don't know about. This just seems like you don't clean your belly button. Of course you do. Right now, wash your ass crack, do your belly button, and wash your feet.
If you're at work, go to the bathroom and wipe it all out right now.
Right now. Get in there and hose it out. Just rinsing your hands in the bathroom. No, you got to use soap. Right?
had a teammate in college that his philosophy was if he peed, he didn't wash his hands. But if he pooped, he would.
No. Also, no offense to the people that are also in this building here where we are.
Mm-hmm.
I have way too many times, like on my way out or like possibly in the morning when people are kind of just starting the day, I'll go to the restroom and I'll use it, but I'll notice like somebody maybe comes out of the stall and just like doesn't hit the wash.
Yeah.
Or like you're disgusting.
Yep.
You're absolutely disgusting. You're a grown adult. You should have to go to like a class or something at that point.
I agree 100%. The number one is boring. Never cleaning your phone or your keys. I've never cleaned my keys in my life. I cleaned my phone, but not my keys.
I've never cleaned my keys either, and that's concerning because I don't know if you guys have this move, but like, I'll get home or whatever, and I've got stuff in my hands. We have like the screen door almost, so I put the key in my mouth and I bite down on that. And I open it. So I didn't want to hear that one.
No, you don't want to hear that one. You're right. You're fine. Where's your key going that you have filth on it anyway?
Well, I use that to clean my belly button out too.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. And your ass crack too. You scrub it right out. Wonderful. Let's take a break, shall we? And come right back. Anson Williams and Jeffrey Sitkove promoting Doors of Change, an organization to help 4.2 million homeless youth across the United States. I had no idea. 4.2 million homeless youth. We'll talk to them right after this. Tom here, and I want to discuss a partnership that has been wonderful in my life, Zero Res Carpet Care. Very good friends of mine. Nothing is better to someone with a family than having a completely clean home. Your carpet is the biggest filter in your house. If you want to talk about pet dander or foot traffic, dirt from the outside, they all eventually reside in your carpet. So, Zero Res Carpet Care. Listen, around the holidays, you need to contact ZeroResMinnesota.com or call 952-ZEROREZ. That's 952-ZERO-RES. They clean your home with their electrolyzed pH-elevated water that doesn't use chemicals or soaps that smell like a janitor's closet like other cleaning services. How about a Tom Barnard deal? Well, here it is. Get 3 rooms, 0 resified, starting at $129, and don't forget your air ducts. Mention me, and they'll discount your air vents by $75 too. This is for the entire month, so call them right now, 952-0-RES, backward or forwarded, spells the same, or book online, ZeroResMinnesota.com. If it's available, ask for them to come to your place in the Tom Barnard named service truck. What an honor that was, by the way. Just mention me by name and get the special deal to get your home clean and your heart happy. Zero Res Carpet. Why should your business bank with North American Banking Company? Here's Landon and Gavin Miller of D&B Plating.
I've always been impressed with their speed of answers to our questions, and that has allowed us to expand and capitalize on opportunities in the market.
North American Banking Company has never made us feel like a number. They've always treated us as a partner.
For more information about North American Banking Company, go to nabankco.com or stop by any one of their Twin Cities locations. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. You need to know a guy for your auto repairs, legal issues, banking, and more. The same goes for investment advice. You need a guy to help you be successful, someone you can trust who gets results. Well, I got a guy for you. Josh Arnold. Josh gives you straight talk, not sugar-coated advice about your financial situation. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions, and Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. Do yourself a favor and call Josh now for a no-obligation, 48-minute evaluation. You've got nothing to lose, and you'll get a different point of view for your investments. Call Josh at 952-925-5608. That is 952-925-5608. You'll be glad that you did. And tell him his guy, Tom, sent you.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice. Tom Barnard is a paid endorser.
The Tom Barnard Show is proud to have partners like North American Banking Company, Bradshaw & Bryant, and attorney and advertiser Dave Bielke.
I've been advertising on Tom Barnard shows for years. I like Tom, not just because he's a good guy, but because the ads I run on his show bring me new clients that are hurt at work and need legal help. Tommy B works for me.
If you'd like to find out more about growing your business with the Tom Barnard Show, go to TomBarnardShow.com, keyword partner. This is the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know when Anson and Jeffrey are ready to go.
And actually, Tom, so I can't read. The email that they sent me was Tuesday, January 23rd is actually getting moved to February 23rd. So the email
February 23rd.
Yeah, so they're running about 30 days late, and we're gonna get them on.
Okay, let's read those things through a couple of times because
so-
I had to leave the show in order to print this out because of you.
Well,
Look at
now we
that.
know in the future that we
That I don't trust what you tell me. That's what we're going to do in the future.
Yeah,
Here,
well-
why don't I hold on to this for a month? I'll put it right over
There
here.
you go. We're just
Jesus,
extra prepared
Palomino.
for February 23rd. He normally puts the date in, so I saw the date in, and then when I just
No
looked at it,
excuse.
it was whatever changed. So
That's okay.
My bad.
Just,
I know the
you
good
don't.
news.
What's that?
You want to know the good news?
Yes, I'd love to hear the good news.
We now have time to talk about the names that are going to go extinct.
They're going to what?
The other story with the names going extinct.
Oh, the name's going extinct. Oh, you want to do that one?
Yeah, now
Yeah,
that we
why
have
not?
time. I
All
thought we
right,
didn't
well.
have time.
Oh, now we have time. In other words, he blew it, gives us time. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just an opportunistic guy. I'm looking
I'm just a happy man, Tom. That's all there is to it. Okay, normal names that are going extinct include Johnny and Amanda. I know several Johnnies and I know a few Amandas. And once you get that, damn it, I gotta ask you guys something because I know they're not going to be on for another month now, the February 23rd with Anson Williams and Jeffrey Sitcove. But I had no idea there were 4.2 million kids that are homeless. What?
Yeah, and I wonder what they include to get to that number. If they're like, somebody's homeless, but they're living with their friends, or
Yeah.
what they qualify as homeless. But that's still an alarming number of youth that are considered homeless.
Do you think the drugs have a lot to do with this?
Yeah, and I would assume not by the kids. I mean, I'm sure there are some kids that are on the streets because they're addicted to drugs, but I would assume that it's a lot of, parents that are more focused on getting high and things like that. And so the kids are like, well,
Right.
I'm out of here.
Look, when I was a kid, you never saw a person sleeping in the street on a park bench. There were no homeless people. And if there were, you never saw them. So I don't know where the hell they went. And there's always been the day centers and all that stuff. Those were always in place. But why did the problem get so bad that they had to expand it to millions of people living on the street?
Yeah, well, I know that there's a lot of times you'll see people that go to the encampments and they'll interview people, and because the shelters are either overpopulated or poorly ran and not safe, they're like, I would rather live on the street in a tent because it's safer.
You think it's safer, really?
Not all of them. I don't think there's really anything that's safe when you're sleeping out on the street, but there are some people. And you get the people that I met a guy once that he was like, yeah, I just got all my stuff in this backpack and I ride the trains across the country. He's like, and that's what I do. Like, he's like, that's just what I love is train hopping. He was like, I get to go in, the Colorado mountains in these areas where no cars are able to go. And he's like, it's beautiful. And it's like, well, I mean, it's not a way that I would want to live my life, but yeah, there are people that choose to,
He might smell a little bit, but he's got a better sightseeing eye than I do.
Yeah, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Well, they were called hobos back then because they carried a hoe with them and took daytime jobs, just gardening for people and whatever. Yeah, they're called hobos, hoe boys. They started as they were boys with hoes.
In a warmer climate, it would make sense.
Yeah,
Minnesota, no, thank you.
Well, they got a lot of trains though, at least going. Whatever. I want to take up a little time with that just because it's going to be a fascinating. It'll be a month from today. Anson Williams and Jeffrey Sitcove would be on to talk about this. I really wish we could figure out. I don't know. It's got to be has got to have something to do with drugs, right?
I think that's a factor for sure.
Yeah, it's just sad. Really, really sad.
This might be the most anticipated guest interview of all time, though, because
for a month.
For a month, we have a whole month for the excitement to build.
This is the best tease in the history of podcasting.
Then it could be one. Hey, a couple of minutes from now, Taylor Swift wants to come on, but I told her, I'm sorry, we have to do Anson Williams on the February 23rd first, so he can be on the February 24th if you want. Was that okay?
Could you imagine bumping Taylor Swift or some big celebrity just for for we have AJ's mom's joining us today, Taylor, so we don't actually have room for you.
You know what? I actually did that to Paul McCartney once.
No way. What?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was supposed to interview Paul McCartney, and I got a call from my wife saying I had needed to go pick my son up. I canceled the interview, and somebody else came in and interviewed him. And Paul made a very, very big point of, "Where's Tom?" Well, he went to pick up his son. He's going to regret that. I'm like, okay, Paul, settle down, pally.
Did that make you feel just a little bit warm inside by kind of rejecting Paul McCartney to go pick up your son?
Yeah, absolutely. I love my son. He's a wonderful kid.
Because anytime there's people that feel like they're more important than somebody else, and you're able to kind of like, I got better things to do, it kind of warms my soul a little bit.
I'm sorry. He's my son. I'm not going to leave my son dangling to interview. I love Paul McCartney. Don't get me wrong. I think he's magnificent. I've never talked to him, though, because I said, well, you go talk to him. I got something to do. So,
That's almost a better story, though, than actually interviewing him, saying, I passed on it so I could go pick up my son.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son had to wander the streets for 20 minutes because I was interviewing Paul McCartney. Yeah, that would have been great. He was about 13 years old. That would have been really great.
Yeah.
I don't even think it was that old. I think it was about 11 or 12, something like that. But okay, the normal names that are going extinct. Do you have any guesses other than Johnny and Amanda? I'm going with, I got to believe Thomas is going to go extinct because, and the only reason I was named Thomas is because I was so big they thought I was twins, and Thomas means twin. So any reason your names were your names? Were you named after anybody or anything like that?
No, I think my mom just heard the name Tevin and was like, yeah, sound works for me. And so she went with that.
Yeah. To my knowledge, I'm named after I think it's technically my uncle, but it's my dad's uncle, Adrian. So
great uncle. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's no like real reason.
All right. Well, here we go. Could your normal name be going extinct? Babycenter.com looked at names we think of as normal that are becoming much less common. Baby name trends always ebb and flow. I'm sure that's true. So maybe they'll be trendy again. But here are a few names that are plummeting in the rankings right now. Again, should I go from the bottom, the 10 to 1, probably?
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay, number 10, Nora. I haven't heard anybody named Nora since I was born. I know some actors.
Right. Since what was the movie that she was Nora? Like the Love Story. Anyway, yeah, that's probably gonna stay away for a while. It's an old name.
Yeah.
No, this is too. Oh, by the way, it's down 91 spots in 2023. Number 9, Angela, down 94 spots. What's wrong with the name, man? I suppose it's just too religious, isn't it?
Oh yeah, because like angelic.
Yep.
No.
People get very touchy about religion now. It's like, calm down. You know what I don't understand about that whole situation? Yeah, if you get nuts and get carried away with your religion and think you're better than everybody else because you are whatever religion you are, that's ridiculous and all the rest of it. But pretty much everybody's got to believe there's some, I'm not saying it's a being or anything, but there's something a hell of a lot bigger than all of us, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever. I mean, it doesn't have to look like some homeless guy with a beard. You know what I mean? Number 8, Bradley, down 104. That's after it dropped 77 spots the year before. So apparently nobody's naming their children Bradley anymore.
Yeah, I think these are just all names that were extremely popular. And then people go, well, I know 17 Brads. I don't want to name my kid Brad.
Yeah, maybe that's it. That's true. I grew up with Bradleys. I know that.
I feel like a lot of these too people are forgetting they're naming like an eventual adult and not a baby
good
forever.
point.
Like, here's my 3-week-old baby. Oh, what's his name? Brad. Like they forget that baby's gonna be 30 eventually. Yeah. Like you can't name it like Justin with TYN, like whatever.
Yeah, there you go. Number 7 is Diana. It's down 108 spots. Is that because of Princess Diana?
Yeah, it didn't end well for her. So
yeah, that's what I'm guessing. They probably don't want some dead person. You know what I mean? Like anybody name their kid Capone for the same reason?
I would definitely name my kid Capone now.
Now that you mention it.
That would be so cool.
I've never met anyone named Capone. I had friends that had nicknames like Capone and that kind of stuff, but it wasn't their real name. Number 6, Michelle, down 129 points. Michelle Tafoya, used to work with her. Then she got mad at me because she thought that I was the one who fired her when I wasn't. But I haven't talked to her since. So I do really well with coworkers, don't you think?
Yeah.
Really do. Number 5, Amanda. We have a member of our family's named Amanda. It's down 131 points.
That's surprising to me.
I agree.
I feel like I still know so many Amandas.
Yep. Nope, you're absolutely right. Like I said, I have somebody in my family named Amanda. Then you got Johnny down 150 spots. That includes Johnny, John, all of it.
Jonathan, okay, yep.
Jonathan, I suppose. Number 3 is Mackenzie. It's down 184 spots. I don't know anyone named Mackenzie, I don't think.
Yeah, maybe like 1 or 2.
Do you know some Mackenzies?
Yeah, I went to school with a Mackenzie. There was a Mackenzie that used to play for the Vikings, but yeah, it's not too common.
Yeah, I know some that go by like Mac. I know, yeah, Mackenzie.
Sure.
The thing is, there's a lot of different spellings. I feel like for Mackenzie, you can get, you can put a lot of flair on it. So I don't know if this list includes all of those that sound like Mackenzie or if it's like spelled a specific way.
Number 2 is Julius. It's down 189 spots for boys.
Yeah,
Julius.
that smoothie company.
Orange Julius.
Not doing anybody favors
That's
there.
right, Orange Julius. I forgot all about them. I didn't even think about that. Number 1, though, and I told the Hubbards to fire her for this very, very reason. They haven't done it yet, but I hope she's excused later on today for the rest of time. Brooke was just the 471st most popular name for girls last year, down around 200 spots in 2022. So I'm sorry, Brooke, but you got to go. Your name is the number 1 that nobody's naming their kids after. So we're going to have to get somebody else to run that department. What do you think?
I wonder if that's just because of like fads. Like people naming their kids now probably weren't super big fans of like Brooke Shields or whatever, but maybe.
Yeah, true.
We're getting further and further away from that. I don't know who else is like a famous Brooke. See, I can't even think of one.
Brooke Benton, but that's a guy.
I don't even know.
Does that matter?
Brooke Lopez, that's also a guy.
Well, there's another guy. That'd be a good.
I don't think I know any women named Brooke.
You do at KSTP.
At Hubbard, yeah.
At Hubbard, you do. There's no question about it. Brooke, I worked with her over at the Q also. Actually, Brooke's one of my favorite people in the world. I have to be honest. Damn it, I hate being honest about stuff like that. But so it's Brooke, Julius, Mackenzie, Johnny, Amanda, Michelle, Diana, Bradley, Angela, and Nora are all out. Nobody's naming their children that any longer. Whatever. You do what you got to do, right?
Right.
Yeah.
We shall take. What's the woman's name is coming on next? I forgot.
Kristyn.
Yeah,
Kristyn.
and her name is not plummeting. To
Alive
the
and thriving more than ever. Yeah.
Do me a favor when she comes on, okay? I don't care. You can both do it or one of you do it.
Yeah, what's that?
But when we used to have it on the family podcast, there was a guy on there that kept calling her Kirsten. So Kristyn became Kirsten. And so Kirsten, what do you think is, it's actually Kristyn. Yeah, so anyway, Kirsten. And I don't think he was doing it on purpose. He was just not paying attention. What are you going to do? Such is life. We will take a break, be right back. Kristyn Burtt will join us right after this.
You have all helped support MyPillow and their employees in these tough economic times. Mike Lindell knows this and continues to give back to listeners with great deals on his most popular products. Right now, you can save 50% on Queen and King pillows and the original My Slippers, and the MyPillow 6-pack bath towel sets are back in stock. The proprietary technology makes them extremely absorbent, yet still provides that soft feel you look for in a towel. That comes with 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. Regular price is $79.98, and for a limited time, you can get this 6-pack towel set for only $39.99 with promo code TOM. That's a 50% savings. So go to MyPillow.com, use promo code TOM to save 50% on the MyPillow 6-pack towel sets. That is just $39.99 for a set. This deal will not last long. Enter promo code TOM for this special and many more.
Jim Paul of Valley Buick GMC has a mutiny on his hands. His sales crew said they've had it brooming snow off the new Buicks and GMCs, then warm them up, move them to plow, and repark them again. He even overheard them cooking up an alternative plan. a sale.
This is crazy. Why don't we just mark them down and sell them?
This is getting real old to be out on that lot in this sub-zero weather.
That's right. Everyone we sell is one less to broom. I heard we're supposed to get 6 more inches tomorrow.
I'm 5'6". How am I supposed to get the snow off the roof of a pickup?
I'm Jim Paul, and well, car dealers do have all kinds of crazy sales. This idea probably makes more sense than most. There's plenty of inventory, so okay, the crew has decided.
So then it's official. The We Don't Want to Broom snow sale is in full force at Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Hastings. Snowy inventory priced real right at valleycardealers.com.
You're listening to the Tom Barnard Podcast.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. There she is, all smiley and everything. We just ran through a list of names that are no longer going to be used, but Kristyn was not on the list.
It's not a wildly popular name, honestly.
Well, there's Kristyn, there's Kirsten, there are a few.
Kirsten, Christian,
yeah.
Christine, Christina. I answer to all of them because just because I have a Y at the end, people think it's pronounced differently.
Like Christine.
Yeah, I get a lot of like Christian, Kirsten, Kirsten. So
How do you
I
get
just answer
Kirsten?
to all
It's
of them.
K-R-I, Kirsten.
I think sometimes if people have like a learning disability, everything like the R's get mixed up. And oftentimes my Y gets transferred to where the I is, and the I gets transferred to the
I
Y is.
suppose,
I mean, so I just roll with it. It's fine. Or just call me KB and we'll be done with it.
That happened to me one time. We were on a boat going down the Mississippi River, headed for St. Louis. And for some reason, I think that the crew was British or something. Everybody had a name tag so everybody could get to know one another. Actually, I made a good friend from the deal. They put my name patch on, spelled T-H-O-M. Thom. So the rest of it's not Thomas, I understand. It is Thomas. But when you T-H-O-M, the entire trip there and back was, hey, Thom, how you doing? Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it.
Thumb. It makes me think of a thumb.
It is a thumb. That's exactly what the problem is. Hey, good to see you. So Catherine and I are watching. Harlan Coben's either wife or daughter wrote a book, and it's called, what is it? I can't remember the name of it, but it's they made it into a movie. Her name is Christina or something like that. I don't know if it's his wife, his daughter, or what it is, but we started watching it, and it seems like it's good, but the problem is they took the book over to England and made the movie there, or a TV show. It's not a movie. It's an 8-part, 10-part series, something like that. But the problem is the whole talk like this the whole time. I went downstairs.
Did you put on the captions?
I'm going to have to because I can't hear a damn word they're saying.
We said this yesterday with Fargo. You got to start turning on the captions. Gen Z loves the captions.
They do love the captions. You're absolutely right about that.
Gen Z is bringing the captions and making them cool. So there you go.
I suppose. It is. Is it for no one?
Is it Fool Me Once?
Fool Me Once. That's exactly what it is. Yep.
On Netflix, yeah.
Was that his wife or his sister or who is it?
The wife whose husband passes away. Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're watching. Yeah. So it's a thriller. It's been number 1 on Netflix, I think, over the last week or two.
Yeah, it has. Absolutely. But I cannot understand them, so I have to put on the caps.
Yeah, just put on the captions. You'll be fine.
Yeah, whatever you said, I can't understand.
Yeah, I don't know how much I want to spoil, with the story. Am I spoiling it if I say, the husband dies and then I don't know. Are you watching it too, Tevin?
No.
Now it's ruined for me. Thank you so much.
No, I mean, he dies in the first episode. So, but the whole premise is based off of his death, and then the story I don't want to spoil it. And then the story continues from there.
Kristyn, whatever happened after they put Jesus in the tomb? Whatever happened to him?
Resurrection.
Yeah, see, you ruined her. Spoiler! Spoiler!
But it's not necessarily the premise of that, though. So,
can you imagine if you were over there, you're walking along, all of a sudden here comes this guy out of his tomb. You go, what the hell is this all about? Guy comes out of his
dusty, I would think, right?
I would think, absolutely. But so it's what's called Fool No One.
Fool Me Once.
Fool Me Once. There you go.
Yeah.
Fool Me Once. Yeah. Okay, that's it.
It's good. I was gonna say it's good. I'm a couple episodes in, but I just don't want to spoil the whole story of what happens after the first. It's because it's not necessarily a resurrection either. So I'm like,
Well, I've only seen one episode so far.
Okay,
so
yeah,
we'll
you've got
stay
more to
with
go
you.
then. But just turn on the captions. You'll be okay.
I will. I'm going to have to because it was. Yesterday and told me that. What the hell are you saying?
That was Billy Elliot for me. I was like, I have no idea what you're saying. Turn on those captions. And that was back in the day when I think, Billy Elliot's over like 24 years old. I think it was like 2000 it came out.
Really?
So, yeah. So I was like turning on captions on like an old DVD, not even on streaming. I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying, but they help.
I was trying to think the last time I used a DVD. God, it's been a long time. Used to get them all the time. Yeah.
Well, you still get them occasionally for,
Yes,
if you
yep.
opt out, you won't get them, but you can still opt in for DVDs for screeners for like SAG Awards and things like that.
Right, exactly. You used to get tons of them, man. They were stocked up. We had something to do in January and February watching all those movies.
But you still do. You just have to log
Right,
into your account.
right.
That's all. I don't
Yep.
think you like to do that.
I'm not big on any of that stuff. I
Yeah.
want to watch it where I want to watch it. You know what I mean?
But you can watch it whenever you want to watch it. You just have to use your code. Like you have to use your SAG ID and your PIN code, and then it shows up on your television.
SAG and AFTRA, baby.
Yep.
I will tell you, they got a good retirement program. There's no question about that. They did a really, really good job for voiceover and actors. There's no
They
question.
have no money left, though. It's not.
Well,
it's
that's
only
a
for your-
problem.
For your generation, great. For the rest of us, we're toast.
We're broke. Sorry.
You're broke. There's no health insurance, or it's hanging by a thread, and
God.
yeah, it's bad. And for people still working, or seniors who are working in the industry, they can't qualify because your residuals don't count toward your health
Oh,
insurance. I mean,
sure.
it's really a struggle for a lot of them. So
No question. And voiceovers changed a lot.
yeah,
I mean, it's
most of my
totally
friends who are voiceover and working consistently, whether it's video games
Mhm.
or animated stuff, they are working financial core. So if people don't know what financial core is, you resign from your membership from SAG, but you are allowed to work union jobs as well as non-union jobs. So you're not a card carrying member, but you still pay dues, but you don't pay a percentage of your dues towards other things. So you don't get to vote in the SAG Awards. You lose some privileges and things like that. But it was the only way that they could keep their careers going.
God, it was back in the day. So I shouldn't be pissed off that some of the politicians in Minnesota that ruined my voiceover career was going to be ruined anyway.
Hollywood ruined that. And it's not, I don't even want to say it's Hollywood. Tech companies. Tech has
Yeah, yep.
disrupted Hollywood.
Yep.
And we weren't able to keep ahead of the curve. And that is what has destroyed Hollywood.
That's very, very sad that you say that, because I got to be honest with you. I love doing voiceover because back in the day, before IT and all that good stuff, you had to fly to New York, Chicago, you had Los Angeles, you had to fly all over the country to do voiceover before that, which I enjoyed. I thought it was magnificent. Eventually moved to Chicago and New York and worked out of there. But, that all changed. As soon as IT came along, you went, oh, this is going to destroy our business, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it did.
And everybody has their own home studio now. So
Yes, right.
I mean, there's some benefits to that, and you can keep on
Yep.
working. But again, the union jobs with all of the good benefits and everything, those are few and far between. So it's really kind of sad.
I still have listeners that send me messages about, hey, I didn't know you did voiceovers. And it's always from, oh, God, what is the name of that movie? It was Sean Penn and Christopher Walken. And I remember the last line in the voiceover I did for the movie was, like father, like son, like hell.
That's a good line. That's
What do
a
you
good
think of that?
tagline. I like it.
It was a big old time. What the hell was the name of that movie again?
Was it At Close Range?
At Close Range. That's exactly right. You could play it too, because you could make fun of me, guys, because I can see you thinking about making fun of my talents as a voiceover
I
guy.
miss like those old trailers. Those were so
They don't do them at all
good.
anymore. They
No,
don't do them
they
at all
don't.
anymore.
They don't.
I don't know. That's
It's
too
like
bad.
the songs at the start of sitcoms that they used to do. Like they don't do that. If someone started singing like "Show me that smile," you'd be like, "Just get to the show."
Yeah, you've lost all your patience. There's no question about it. I don't know what the hell. So, I've said this a million times, and I do believe that streaming is wonderful because you can catch up on so many great things. I would have never heard of any of this stuff if it weren't for streaming, I don't think.
Yeah, and streaming's having a good day at the Oscars because the Oscar nominations were this morning.
Oh, I want to hear all about
Netflix is leading the way, yeah. Lots of snubs. I always find the snubs to be fascinating. You've got Leonardo DiCaprio, not nominated.
Really?
Do you find that? I find that surprising on a Scorsese film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Weird.
I'm trying to think. Here's another big one. Margot Robbie, not nominated for Best Actress for Barbie.
What?
But America Ferrera was nominated for Best Supporting Actress in that movie, and Ryan Gosling for Ken.
Really? But
no Barbie.
Really?
And in addition to that, Barbie was nominated for Best Picture, not surprising, but Greta Gerwig, who directed it, not nominated. So the film obviously directed itself.
Yeah, it did, absolutely. That's why it's so good, because it directed itself, absolutely. No question.
It doesn't make any sense whatsoever when you do something like that. Some of the other ones that I think are kind of interesting, I think that, Robert Downey Jr., I think he could possibly win this category for Oppenheimer. And to me, when I look back on it, his story is going to be wild because he was, kind of like a late teen actor into his young adults, like totally messed it up with his drug addiction and everything else.
Right.
Nobody thought he would have the comeback that he did. And obviously he's been nominated for Oscars before, but to then be a multimillionaire thanks to Iron Man, and then to be back here at the Oscars, I was like, what a story.
No question about it. I used to love to watch the Oscars back in the day, but Catherine's never been into it. She never has watched the Oscars.
I think that the big business is the red carpet. That's where everyone makes all of the money with the fashions and the jewels and everything else and what people are wearing. But, there are moments that I'm so glad I was either backstage covering or I was watching because, I think about like the Will Smith slap. Like I was at the official Academy party when that happened, and to be in a theater with a bunch of people to just watch it happen and to see everyone's reaction of like, wait, what? Did that just happen? And everyone was just stunned. And then everyone was like, PR stunt. And then you started realizing this wasn't a PR stunt. Like this actually was a really bad, caught up in the moment. Oh, hi, Jude. Good morning.
Oh, Andy must have just gotten here for the family show because Jude went nuts. What a shot. Yep, there was Andy just walked by.
Yeah, you do think about those actual moments or being and covering the Oscars when they read off the wrong name for Best Picture. They're like La La Land. No, it's Moonlight.
Yeah.
What?
That's amazing.
It is such an out-of-body experience. It's unbelievable. And that moment was clearly the error of the accountant who handled the ballots. Because he was too caught up in tweeting about Scarlett Johansson. I get it. She's really pretty, but you handed out the wrong envelope, man.
Oh, God. That is a little hard to believe, no question. AJ, did you ever find that movie trailer?
I've never seen this movie, so I don't know if this is actually it. It's 3 minutes, but you said it's the last line that you want to hear?
No, you can play the whole thing. It's 3 minutes long.
It's a 3-minute trailer, yeah.
Play some of it.
It's got to be at the end.
You can play how much ever you want.
Let's see here.
Yesterday, he was a nobody. Today, he is front page news.
Your name? Brad. Little Brad Jr. And is there a Big Brad? Who is he?
He's my father. A man too dangerous to get close to. A boy too dazzled to break away. Sean Penn is Brad Whitewood Jr., a live wire kid in a dead-end town,
Hopped on the hood of a car.
for a family he's never known.
Just for fun, it looks like.
Yep. Here it comes.
Oh, I'm Terry.
You have a really nice smile.
Thanks.
I guess you must have heard about me. I heard you're a thief. Well, some folks I'm just the devil in blue suede shoes. 100? 20.
When I married him, he had the biggest eyes you ever saw.
What do you think? Beautiful.
Here, I'll skim ahead a little better.
There it comes. Yeah.
I gave you money. I gave you a car. I took you in. And don't that mean something? Family gun, Dad. I love you. Is that what you want to hear?
To that. Sean Penn, Christopher Walken. Like father, like son, like hell.
Ah! What do you think of that action?
I have no idea what that movie is about based off the dialogue that they chose to insert in between.
Yeah, that was a
They
little.
used to not spoil the movies in trailers. So
Yeah, right, right.
You would get these random scenes and you'd be like, oh, that sounds intriguing. And then you go to the movies and see it. Now they just spoil the whole movie and you're like, oh, okay, I know what happens. But you go and see it anyway. That was also during the Madonna years. So that is,
Yep.
Yeah, because Live to Tell was when she was married to Sean Penn.
God. I miss that. I do miss doing trailers, but they just don't do them anymore. They don't use movie trailers anymore. It was a lot of fun.
Just for the record, I was watching that. I also have no clue what the movie's about. No clue, because he was in a courthouse and then he was like on the car of this girl driving, like just like on the hood. He willingly jumped on, and then he's got his dad, I think, at gunpoint, and then they just like hugged it out, and then he just shot the cabinets, and then somebody fell through a skylight. Just I don't know what's going on.
And you would only really see that in a movie theater too. It's not like you couldn't go online at the time to go and say, let me watch the trailer and see more about it. You would have to go to your newspaper and be like, what's this movie about it? And am I going to see it this weekend?
Pretty much true. I know this, that if I'm ever asked how I like doing the show, I will go, like Tevin, like AJ, like hell. What do you think? Good promo?
Yeah, we need to get that cut immediately and put it
that might be on the button bar tomorrow.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. If it's not here tomorrow, I will be truly disappointed.
We'll get it done for you, no question. But thank you, my dear. We will talk to you tomorrow.
You bet. And we got to talk Alec Baldwin tomorrow. You guys remind me.
Oh, absolutely.
We got to talk Rust.
Yep, you're absolutely right. Love to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. That is going to do it. Family shows up in about 15 minutes, and we'll see you here tomorrow.